Good morning. Let me be the first person to greet you a Merry Christmas. So it's Christmas time. Thank you for accepting our invitation to attend today's launch as we announce our appointment as the Philippine distributor of Rackspace Technology, a leading end-to-end multi-cloud technology services company. Over the past few years, adoption of cloud technologies continued to increase, and this pace has been further accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic as businesses look for ways to ensure business continuity, stay agile, and support the remote workforce. Today, our conversations will center on how Rackspace technology can make your private cloud a reality, featuring Dell Technologies and VMware Cloud Solutions. I hope you are all set for a whole morning of learning and fun. To begin, please join me in welcoming our executives from Rackspace. We have the General Manager for South Asia, Sir Bernard Lallier. Good morning, sir. The Director of Solutions Architecture and Professional Services, Sir Matthew Heap. Morning, sir. The Regional Alliances Manager, Ivan Chan. Morning. Marketing Manager for Asia, we have Rachel Lam. And the Head of Communications and Brand for APJ, we have Vanessa Cremona. From Dell Technologies, we have the Director for Cloud Service Providers, South Asia and Asia Emerging Markets, Ian Law.
Hi.
Morning. The Partner Development Manager for Distribution, Ms. Yai Lumotan.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. The Lead for ISV and CSP, we have Ms. Mia Huang.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. The President and CEO of VST ECS, Sir Jimmy Goa.
Hello, good morning.
Our Executive Vice President and Country COO, Princess Chua. She'll be joining us later. And our first AVP and General Manager for Enterprise Technology Group, we have Svet Panar.
Good evening, everyone.
Our Product Manager, Sean Godani, he'll be your focal person for
Morning.
Rackspace. And Technology and Product Support Assistant Manager, Maybell Estipular.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. Please watch this video for a quick update of the many opportunities you can tap from VST ECS. As you are perhaps aware of, we continue to beef up our offerings to allow us to address the evolving needs of our customers. Please watch this.
In a world where technologies provide the impetus for business survival, digital transformation is no longer a choice. One company that drives innovation is VST ECS Philippines Incorporated. Discover our passion. This is what drives us to continue to partner with the best and innovative brands in the ICT industry. Through the years, VST ECS has evolved to become an IT distribution powerhouse, offering an extensive breadth of solutions for retail, commercial, and enterprise markets. From our humble beginnings, we have embraced the shifts in technologies and economies to bring the best brands to our channel partners. VST ECS Philippines Incorporated, a member of the VST ECS Group. We are the leading ICT distributor in the country. we offer choices to help you grow, transform, and thrive in the new economy. Notebooks, consumer and commercial. Desktops, consumer and commercial. Virtual desktops. Workstations. Printers and copiers. Supplies. Mobility. Gadgets and accessories. Lifestyle. Gaming. Servers. Storage. Power management. 3D printing. Networking, wired and wireless. Software-defined network. Network security. Data backup and protection. Big data. Hyper-converged infrastructure. Software CAD and graphics. Software enterprise solutions. Commercial digital display. IP surveillance. POS solutions. AIDC solutions. Document imaging. Telephony. Collaboration solutions. Cloud computing. Containers and microservices. Internet of Things. Artificial intelligence and robot process automation. Data center solutions and services. Managed services. Everything as a service. Subscription. Training and education. Agility. The way to survive, rebound, and thrive in the new digital economy is to bend, pivot, change, and adapt to the changing times. We will be relentless to look for ways to anticipate the needs of our customers through our portfolio, infrastructure, services, and people. With the demands of the new normal, we have embraced digital technologies and online platforms for improved collaboration, enhanced customer service, and business continuity. We put greater emphasis on the well-being of our people by strictly observing and implementing health protocols. While some things may have changed due to the pandemic, our commitment to deliver greatness and serve as technology enabler remains the same. Our workplaces will be an important venue for collaboration. Technology availability. Delivery of services, and business continuity. Reach. We will explore possibilities to make technologies accessible to their intended audiences. By partnering with IT retailers, online channels, corporate partners, system integrators, born-in-the-cloud businesses, ISVs, mobility and specialty stores, and many more. Leadership. We will continue to lead in the availability of ICT solutions. We will embrace digital revolution and convergence, because the true measure of our success is not summarized in the awards we have received, but in the way we have transformed businesses and individuals. Great products, great people, great solutions. Partner with us. We are VST ECS Philippines Incorporated, your link to technology.
Thank you. So many choices to grow your business and tap many opportunities in this changed world. And today, we are adding another layer to improve your bottom line. To formally start our launch, please join me in welcoming the President and CEO of VST ECS, Sir Jimmy Guo, for the executive address.
Hello. Good morning, partners. I hope that everyone is safe and well. Well, I want to greet you advance Merry Christmas as well. It's a Burr month, okay? You know, Philippines has one of the longest Christmas celebration, okay? So today we are announcing the partnership between VST ECS Philippines and Rackspace Technology. I would like to thank Bernard, Matthew, Rachel, Ivan, and the whole Rackspace team for appointing VST ECS in the Philippines. Thank you to all our partners for attending this event. Well, Rackspace Technology is a leading end-to-end multi-cloud technology solutions company. Today, we are announcing the launch of the VMware solution on the private cloud based on the proven Dell technology infrastructure and more. Okay? Rackspace accelerates your journey to the multi-cloud so you can realize its full benefits faster. I would like to invite all of you to partner with us on Rackspace and harness the power of the cloud. Learn from the different solutions of Rackspace, certify and invest so that we can profit from all the opportunities in the market. Partner with us on Rackspace, and thank you to everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Sir Jimmy, for a quick overview of Rackspace Technology Solutions. Please watch this corporate video.
From day one, Rackspace was just a very hands-on partner for us. They asked us what our needs are, what are the most important things that Club Champion needed to see.
The big thing with Rackspace was, for us, the support whenever we run into a problem or as we scale and find a scaling problem. There's access to guys who obviously know the deeper internals of that.
They understand us, they understand our customers, they understand what is driving us, and they in turn know what they need to do within Rackspace to make us be successful.
Rackspace were an amazing partner to have. They're really good at helping us shape and redesign solutions. Thanks to them, we've managed to migrate all our workloads into public cloud in a very short period of time.
Picking the right technologies, picking the right approaches is always hard, hence why we rely on Rackspace's experience in that space.
What I've really been blown away with is Rackspace's enthusiasm to find out what more they can do with us. That comes through all levels of the organisation, from the CTO through to the rackers who've arranged fundraising days for British Heart Foundation.
We knew the reasons for wanting to go to the cloud. What we weren't completely clear on was how to go about that. Rackspace enabled us to achieve the migration in a much shorter time frame. That would have been a lot longer if we'd done that on our own.
We continue with the executive address from Rackspace to announce the appointment of VST ECS as its country distributor and to share with us an overview of Rackspace organization and its solution as well. Go ahead, Sir Bernard.
I am delighted to be here along with the Rackspace team who have organized this, and we thank you very much, VST, for the opportunity. Thank you, Dell, for organizing this engagement. We are very excited to be working exclusively in the Philippines with VST, and we see a really big opportunity, particularly in light of the digital acceleration that has been continued by the pandemic and by the really large opportunity to help organizations in the Philippines to modernize their infrastructure while taking advantage of the big investments many of them have already made in private cloud and in VMware. We see a very large opportunity to grow, and that's something that as a technology-first organization, we couldn't do without a very reliable distribution network and a partner that can really help bring our technology capability into the businesses of organizations across the Philippines. So VST, we are extremely excited to be working with you. We see a high potential here.
All right, once again, on behalf of VST ECS, thank you so much, Rackspace, for trusting us to be your Philippine partner. At this point, we will now delve deeper into understanding Rackspace technology solution. Partners, in this particular segment, we will have the spot game contest wherein you need to spot the icon. We have 10 specially marked slides. In the first participant, you are too familiar with the mechanics, I'm so sure. The first participant to send us the correct slide number and the slide title wins the game, and the prize is 500 Grab food voucher. Our speaker is Bernard Dallier. Again, he's the general manager for South Asia, and his topic will center on how to make your private cloud a reality. Bernard is a seasoned leader with proven ability in scaling new regions, hiring high performance teams, and delivering results. He comes with a depth experience in driving strategic planning and execution in cloud, in a demonstrable track record of success across Asia. He led Rackspace in South Asia and has scaled the business to a team of 40 across 3 offices and growing for the last 3 years. Please go ahead, Sir Bernard.
Yes, thank you so much. Good. So Rackspace is a 20-year business and a pioneer in initially the managed hosting industry, and more recently, the private cloud space. We also have a large public cloud business, which is less relevant to what we're talking about today, but it means that Rackspace does have that depth of track record and technical expertise across all of the technologies that are relevant for organizations today, which is vitally important when we are engaging with your teams, with your customers, to ensure that those customers have the right solution for their needs going forward. Rackspace's expertise has always grown out of the infrastructure space, where we have 20-year relationships with Dell, long relationships with VMware, and all of the other technology platforms that really are the bedrock of all of the technical decisions that clients are making. But we also have a wealth of expertise in specifying platforms for particular applications, in specifying and delivering platforms to meet very particular security requirements for banks, for government organizations worldwide, as well as for multinationals, all of whom have seen a sharp uptick in the threat environment, particularly during COVID times, as well as a big increase in the security, the compliance frameworks in which they operate. Keeping pace with those can be very difficult, and Rackspace has a wealth of expertise in helping customers with all of those things. We have about 6,500 Rackers worldwide, which puts us at the very large end of the cloud specialists and really gives us that ability to create detailed product roadmaps with our partners like Dell, now with VST, to ensure that our solutions are not just relevant for your customers today, but they continue to be relevant throughout the life cycle of our and your work with those customers. That roadmap is particularly important for organizations in the modern world because, as we all know, digital transformation is driving increasingly rapid change in the way organizations are working with their stakeholders and their customers. We have a wide range of expertise across all of those technologies that we deliver services into, and those credentials are always very important, particularly for those larger organizations. For those that do have compliance requirements, we can demonstrate and prove through customer case studies, through reference architectures, as well as through organizations like Gartner and Forrester, that Rackspace will deliver on those promises that we and you make to their stakeholders. Our geographical reach is pretty large and growing, and this is particularly important for those organizations that do have a global view. We work with lots and lots of organizations in Asia that are growing either into Western markets or into the rest of Asia and who need a reliable solutions partner. Rackspace can deliver private cloud into data centers in many locations across Asia, across the United States, across the UK, and we serve clients in more than 150 customers globally from these locations. In terms of our work with Dell, so Dell have been a close partner of Rackspace almost since our inception 20 years ago. We are one of only 14 titanium partners of Dell globally, and this gives us a very close joint insight into product roadmaps, into innovation work together in order to help our customers and your customers get the very most out of their investment into Dell technology. We are investing for growth together to ensure that that product continues to be cutting edge and to ensure that we can run as first-class citizens all of the different types of workloads, both modern and often legacy, that customers need to plan for in their 5-year roadmap. Our portfolio is really well aligned around all of the priorities that Dell has, and we have many, many certifications across Dell technologies to ensure that when you and your customers work with Rackspace, they have a rock-solid solution. VMware is a huge part of our portfolio as well, and we believe we are in one of the 2 or 3 largest VMware hosts globally. Many customers have a large investment in VMware that they want to move into a more modern environment when they refresh their technology. And Rackspace can help with that planning on how to architect, on how to deploy a VMware solution on Dell hardware that meets all of those requirements around the legacy applications, but also allows customers to seamlessly modernize for the future. That is a big part of the value that Rackspace can offer in working with Dell and VMware. So in terms of case studies, all of those credentials would be less meaningful without demonstrated value that Rackspace has delivered for customers globally. We have done a lot of work with organizations like airlines, and we work with Cebu Pacific locally in the Philippines. They're one of our few Philippines customers that we have without having a presence in market. We also do a lot of work with Hong Kong Express, and we've had a large VMware platform that runs many of their critical applications, including booking systems, all of their e-commerce planning, and really those things that have helped them to grow while staying agile and lean in their technology organization. Pickles is an example of an online auction house based out of Australia that have grown very quickly during the boom in online interaction, and that have a range of platforms with Rackspace, including a large private cloud on Delkit running VMware. Rackspace has been central to their IT planning and modernization around their initially aging application stack. And as a big online business with 10 million page views per month, they needed that modernization to be accurate, cost effective, but also seamless in letting them run for their customers without any kind of blip. Rackspace helped them deliver on all of those requirements and continues to lead their growth in the digital transformation age. And the third one is a financial services customer. Rackspace works closely with many banks, many fintechs, both locally here in Asia and globally. Our ability to provide transformation, our ability to help them move quickly and stay agile and retain a low cost base while meeting the very strict security and compliance rules that exist globally in the financial sector, our ability to help organizations move into different geographies quickly and with limited capital expenditure have been a very big part in ensuring that financial services organizations can stay competitive and can continue to dominate their markets. It's a key area of strength for Rackspace. So I'm going to hand this over to Matthew to talk about the technical details of the first product set that we've planned with VST at launch. But be aware, Rackspace is a very agile and engaged partner. So think about these solutions as a starting point, but as and when you have customers that have digital transformation requirements, particularly those that need to move applications out of data center quickly, Rackspace will be engaged all the way with you and be a visible partner to help you drive that confidence with your customer and win the business. We are very excited about this relationship and we are looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Bernard. 4 times winner of the Global Cloud Solution Provider of the Year. And thank you for mentioning the local companies that you serve as well. Only shows that truly Rackspace is an industry leader in multi-cloud environment. As mentioned by Bernard, our partnership with Rackspace Technology kickstarts with the offering of VMware Cloud Solutions, and this will be shared to us by Matthew Heap, who had the pre-sales for EPJ, and his talk will center on Rackspace private cloud offerings with VST ECS. So we have crafted a unique solution highlighting VMware Cloud Solutions. Okay, Matthew led his team of solutions architect for a global managed services provider. He has created and designed systems around the globe, keeping applications available 24/7, 365 days a year. And currently he specializes in creating powerful, highly available, secure, and scalable systems using technologies from multiple enterprise vendors. Previously, he worked on projects including a virtualization architect role for migrating data centers across continents and deploying software stacks around various platform as a service and infrastructure as a service environments. And he has worked for several hosting companies responsible for their client web and mail platforms, including their internal systems. Please go ahead, Matthew, share the good news.
Thank you, everybody. Hopefully my slides are working correctly. So thanks for everybody's time today. Like we said earlier, Rackspace is focused in 4 different areas. Both multi-cloud, application, security, and data. And we're here to talk to you about private cloud solutions in our multi-cloud stack today. And when we talk about multi-cloud, we really talk about it as a service. So when you look at typically vendors that we work with, they both have a ability to work directly with a customer where there is support agreements and all these different items. I just want to make it very clear from the differentiator for Rackspace is as a private cloud provider, we're actually providing all of these as a service to our customers, including not only ensuring the uptime, but including all those auxiliary costs, including any power. All of these are really included in our commercial model that we offer to our customers. And in terms of that TCO, we can really bring a very attractive TCO into the market. In terms of private cloud offerings that we're launching today here with VST ECS, really focusing on our partnerships with both VMware and Dell, and anybody that has a strong understanding of that ecosystem. Really, virtualization occurs really now at the application level, but at the networking level, the compute level, and the storage level. And I'm here to talk to you really about those core components. And it really starts off with our long-term partnership with VMware that Bernard talks around earlier, really about that SDDC stack or software-defined data center stack. And then leveraging the best-in-class Dell server solutions that allow us to bring various different configurations and capabilities to market. Our other private cloud solution that we want to talk about as well is our storage solution. And this, there's a lot of, in terms of, there's a stat in the market that over 90% of the data in our companies today have only existed for 2 years. When you kind of extrapolate that for quite a while, that means that there's going to be really huge requirements across all of our end customers, and that is going to be growing exponentially. And to do that, they do need reliable and scalable storage. And Rackspace has been able to provide storage services within our data center for an awful long time, and these are the flavors that we're able to provide today, all powered by Dell technology. Talking about our VMware solution, we do call it our Rackspace Cloud Private Cloud for VMware. And this is where we are able to provide the best place to run VMware. And what do I mean by that is that it's a turnkey experience that allows a customer no longer to worry about any of the management, any of that maintenance, any of the concerns that they might be running of what we call technical debt. So not only do they reduce their operational costs by running VMware at Rackspace, they also take away any of that technical debt that can plague organizations for decades. I was talking to some customers yesterday that have over 20-year-old services still within their environment. All of these things can be taken away by Rackspace's partnership with VMware. Our Center of Excellence ensures that that not only do we have the technology solution from Dell in terms of the VxRail capability to auto upgrade these environments in a very turnkey manner, but that we're also keeping up with the key VMware technologies such as Tanzu and various of the new platforms that they are bringing to market. If we look at our innovation that we do provide, we are also able to provide on-premise solutions with this exact same stack. So that flexibility of how to actually provide these solutions are really something key that we bring to market. And our level of partnership with our partner of the year that we've won multiple times really shows that we continue to build that relationship. In terms of how do we actually offer these solutions, we provide it really in our managed services, which is our 24/7 offering of actual support to the environment. But really, it's the engineers that sit behind that provide that as well as the automation. But in terms of where a customer can actually deploy these solutions, really is in the red, the purple, and the blue boxes that you can see below. In this discussion, we're going to focus on deploying that we believe is the most cost-effective solution, which is in the Rackspace data centers that we have in region. And when I say that, I mean we have Sydney, Hong Kong, Singapore, and then across Europe and the US. In terms of that hardware ownership, again, it is sold as a service. So they don't need to worry about any warranties. They don't need to worry about any spares. All those things are provided as a service through that, as well as any VMware licensing. Based on our scale and partnership with VMware, we're able to give customers a very attractive unit price on their solutions. We are also able to provide those solutions, like we've said, in other locations, as well as in the AWS VMC platform. In terms of the VMware stack, it is all the things that you would come to imagine in VMware Cloud Foundation, which is the vCenter capability, vSphere, vSAN, NSX, HCX, and vRealize, and managed services around all of those items to ensure that the VMware platform is actually up and running. We actually provide this as our offering called Rackspace Private Cloud, or you'll hear in the documentation as RPCV. That's because we do have other flavors other than that we have in our storage stack, and we'll talk about that in a little bit later. But it's that single tenant private cloud capability of really both the compute, storage, and networking. It provides that capability of being able to scale very quickly. So I think everybody's aware of some of the logistics challenges of bringing new IT services online over the last period during COVID. And we've been able to provide extremely fast deployment of Dell solutions throughout that period without issue to our customer. And one of the things of having this all hosted remotely in a Rackspace data center, we don't have to be concerned around whether staff is able to reach those data centers. Rackspace takes all of that care for our customers, as well as the support arrangements with Dell of any spares or failed parts that need to be brought in there. In terms of the additional services outside of that VMware platform, we are able to provide managed services up to the operating system level. We're able to provide hybrid connectivity into both their MPLS connectivity, as well as the public clouds from that environment to ensure if we need a hybrid solution, we're able to provide that very quickly. In terms of DR, whether it's a VMware native solution or some other Dell solution for DR or similar, we're able to provide that, as well as managed backup either at a file level, VM level. All these are available within Rackspace. And when we look at what do the benefits really look like, I've got a few listed down here in terms of those best use cases, but I'll show the next element that really talks about why RPCV has a lot of benefits to your end customers. So in terms of it can be placed precisely exactly where you need it to be, and it will be optimized for the performance requirements you need, and we'll be able to connect it into exactly the solution you need in the manner that you need it to. In terms of compelling economics, this is really what I was talking about. This is as a service. not include, it includes all of those auxiliary costs of running a private cloud. So whether it's the data center costs, the data center engineers, the software, all of those items are included in the Rackspace model, and it's a completely OpEx model. So as customers are wanting to move from some of their options, OpEx is available. We can also provide long-term contracts that look like it could look like a dedicated option or a CapEx model, but essentially we think operational savings of approximately 40% would be available. And then when we look at the right VMware technologies, we're able to bring those to you as you need them, especially in those very highly governed environments. So we've got very strong security and PCI compliant VMware solutions where we're able to bring all of these investments together for a customer. And then the final one, which I want to really press home, would be that the partnership with VST ECS doesn't start and stop with just private cloud on VMware. This gives us access to all the different Dell technologies and VMware technologies outside of the vSphere portfolio, and we're able to bring those to market together very quickly for our customers. If we look at a little bit more, I was talking about that responsibilities and how do we actually provide these services. All those items below are what Rackspace take control of and provide included in that service. So if a customer either has concerns about any of these areas, where they're able to get Rackspace to provide those services for them. In terms of what we would expect either yourselves to offer this as an end service would be the areas in purple, or your end customer would be running those themselves. But in terms of our standard offering, it really is about taking that operational burden of both the operations, the networking, the data center, and that ongoing optimization. A lot of customers and staff are very busy keeping some of these services online. Not only do we take that burden away, we also then work with them on how to best optimize this in the future. In terms of how do we work with our customers, it's a pretty seamless and environment. So there's a pre-sales engagement where we talk around all the sales environments and how do we go through a pretty standard sales pursuit, and we would work with you to define precisely the customer requirements. We would agree similar to a bill of materials, and then we would go and build that environment within the Rackspace data centers. We then work with a customer on actual migration assistance of actually moving any existing workload in from the old environment into the new. And then we would move into the operate phase, which would be the long-term hosting of that workload, whatever that would be. And that not only includes the manage and operate components, it includes the patching, and it includes all the maintenance of that VMware environment. If I look at just the SLAs, this is something that is very unique in the market for our VMware SLAs. It's actually a 4 nines uptime. So this is 99.99, which I think equates to around 8 minutes of unscheduled maintenance or downtime a year. And this is essentially how we provide a high level guarantee to our customers of a high level of service. In terms of our capability to respond to end customer requirements, that service desk is available 24/7 and has a 15-minute response time on P1 issues. And with our blended internet service in all of our Rackspace data centers, we provide 100% network guarantee based on not only the switches, but also the routing over into the internet as well at that point, including the firewalls. We also are able to provide 100% SLAs for very customized solutions. So if you have customers that have absolute mission critical needs that we need to host in a data center, we're able to provide that as part of our service levels. One of the great things about going into a Rackspace data center is that our 1 hour replacement is part of our key SLA, and that would I mean, if any part of the server or any part of the solution has an issue that means it would have to be replaced with another part, we have all of those items available within the physical data center. If it's being deployed in a non-Rackspace data center, we do rely on our relationships with Dell and that whole ecosystem of getting the parts to the customer data center in a very fast manner. But obviously that's kind of one of the big advantages of using the Rackspace inventory and logistics, is that all of that is available within the data center. If we look at VCF, if you've been partners for VMware for a few years now, you'll really understand that software-defined data center, is made up of really of these components listed here. And we don't take any of the power away from the customers to actually administrate the actual API, or once the software-defined data center is online, we're able to give them not complete administrative access, but essentially power user and above access to actually go and run their workloads as they need to in the latest versions of VCF, and we'll continue to maintain that tie into VCF as our VMware partnership continues. If we look at how scalable our solution will be, I think at the beginning we talked about the 18,000 VMs that we run in VMware today. I think it might actually be a little more than that. And what we were able to do is scale massively with this following the VCF architecture. So we can go from 3 to 4 hosts all the way up to 64, 128. So really going into absolutely massive data hall sizes in terms of the capabilities that are needed. Once we get past a single rack of compute in our solutions, we do typically start looking at the VxRail solution for those environments that are scaling incredibly quickly or need to scale to a really high number. So we have the anchor cabinet that's able to go 16 hosts, and then we add additional compute every 20 hosts per cabinet. And then as that grows, we need additional networking as and when required. But we are able to provide up to 600 hosts of compute. That's an absolutely massive amount of compute that this solution can scale to. And in terms of the offerings that we're bringing to market with VST ECS today, it really is around 3 different sizes of entry offering. And we do have a VxRail entry offer as well, that are at a very similar price point. It's really looking at both the AF4, AF6, and AF8 all-flash ready nodes. If you're aware of the Dell ecosystem, you'll understand how that maps to a size of compute. And really, this is kind of the size of the number of VMs that you're able to fit on this environment. It includes the VMware licenses, not only just for vSphere, but for NSX, vSAN, and vRealize, and all those SLAs that we're able to talk about earlier. We are able to bring those additional services like guest OS management, making sure everything's patched, making sure all those services that additional customers required, we're able to provide those very quickly. And we're starting at a unit of 4. That's just our best practice. And like I said, that can grow extremely quickly as and when needed. In terms of the specs, these are, they're very common 740 series servers. We are actually using a slightly newer CPU these days rather than the gold, but it's aligned with the brand new solutions that Dell have in the market for the 740s. And as the new models come out, we'll upgrade those as and when necessary, as the VxRail generations increase. So as there's an S1, a P1, we'll increase those specs along with those requirements. These are all 12-month commitments from our customers, and we're able to provide both 12-month and 36-month options, and even longer for customers that really want to get the best TCO for their customers. The different sizes, the biggest differences are really The AF4 is quite a small server, kind of an entry-level offering. The AF6 is a good mix of both compute, memory, and storage. And then the AF8 is the most dense solution to be able to provide the highest compute and the highest storage available to a customer on the Dell platform, on the PowerEdge platform. I now want to talk about our other option that we're bringing to market with VST ECS, which is our storage as a service solution. And I did give you a little preview about this earlier, but this is really talking about the massive growth of how to maintain storage from a business level. What are they actually required to actually achieve that? So obviously we have great capabilities from Dell from a technology perspective, but the people and the processes to actually run all of that storage really a key part of that requirement. So not only do we have those people, those engineers, we're able to help you connect that storage from public cloud, from private cloud solutions at Rackspace into your existing public cloud solutions or existing other, storage solutions that you have across the world. In terms of, we're able to help customers replicate data, both locally and across the region. This doesn't mean that we ignore GDPR, where we've got to be very careful around how data is actually replicated, and that as a sub-processor, these things are very important. In terms of that great Dell technology, deduplication and compression has always allowed us to stay ahead of the competition in terms of what we're able to bring to market there. And in terms of the encryption and security, we're able to provide industry-leading options there. And all as well, this is all on an OpEx basis. So we don't need to worry about any heavy offlay from a customer. Obviously, where there's purchases that Dell and Rackspace make together, the VST ECS resellers will all be involved in that as well as required. In terms of the actual technical differences between our offerings, we start with our smallest and entry-level offering, which is our multi-tenant SAN. And this is really to be able to connect to any physical server over fiber. And we can start from 250 gig. This is a very simple, cost-effective way to add additional storage into a customer. In terms of dedicated SAN, we're able to use the entire Dell portfolio there, and primarily starting with that Unity platform that we've built a really strong capability on. We're able to present not only just in block, but in NFS, all the different items that you'd expect to be able to scale with. If we're just looking at file, we do have strong capabilities in file as well. In terms of not only, this is really important for both backup as well as storing traditional data entries. But what we found really powerful solution is actually bringing backups back from public cloud into a single point in terms of just that disaster recovery capability, as well as isolating your backup from any kind of DR issues that you might have. And then finally, object storage has been around in the market for quite a long time right now. And we're able to use that with our partnerships with OpenStack and the Ceph protocol. So we're able to provide all of that on Dell gear, but really still staying true to simple object storage requirements for our customers. And these are the four options that we have. The one on the left, really our entry level point, starting from 250 gig. Dedicated SAN for your block requirements if you need to extend before what we can achieve, beyond what we can achieve with VxRail and vSAN ready nodes. File for unique requirements and enterprise grade requirements around file, and then object storage for really that new requirement around not only can be images, videos, all the unstructured data kind of needs that you would expect to have. Especially data lakes, as well as AIM and ML requirements. Object storage really well positioned in that space. The SLAs, as we said, this is as a service. So it's not just buying a server from Dell. We're providing that server service to you. In terms of, we do have 4 different SLAs of how to consume these private cloud storage components. So we have this hardware for colo level where we are able to provide physical access to the physical Dell gear, but we'll still manage and maintain that for you. Our next three SLAs are both our infrastructure SLA, where it's very simple. Essentially, we provide break fix, still a strong SLA, but a break fix capability within this, and it's a really strong SLA of an uptime SLA of 4 nines. Managed would mean that we would manage all components of this in terms of providing not only the SLAs, but actually managing all the LUNs and all the different components within the storage environment, setting up the backups for you, setting up all the different areas and maintaining those. So if the backups start failing or certain performance degradation occurs, that would all be included in the managed environment. And the intensive one is really about having a named contact and a much faster, it says 6 hours in terms of this, but it's more of a more dedicated team that completely understands not only your storage solution, but all of your solutions that you have with Rackspace. And the final one I was really around where we see large unexpected costs in public cloud. And this is what we call data freedom, where we give you a much lower cost of accessing your data within the public cloud. And having it in, storing it in an area where you have very predictable costs, low costs, and you're absolutely able to use the protocols and the Dell technologies that you're familiar with to provide that. So the key component is the data transit fees. We're able to provide a much lower cost to access between the public cloud and the private cloud storage solution. We're able to scale both on the private cloud and the public cloud as needed. And the great thing about this is it doesn't actually travel over the internet. So wherever you need to store this, not only can we move it out of the public cloud in a very cost-effective way, but we're able to also move it across continents as needed, help you replicate it across different areas, so that if you do need access to that storage, we can provide it in a very predictable and cost-effective way. I'm now going to introduce Ivan Chan, our Regional Alliance Manager for Rackspace, that'll be working very closely with all of you.
Thank you, Matthew. They combine the expertise and technologies of Rackspace Technology, VMware, Dell Technologies, and of course, VST ECS, allow us to simplify the path to penetrate the private cloud market. We continue our discussion with Ivan Chan, the Regional Alliance Manager for EPJ, and in his talk, he will share with us how to take advantage of this newly inked partnership. Ivan has a proven track record driving professional services, revenue growth, building go-to-market plans with partners, and engaging customers. His success includes winning one of the largest deployments on a public cloud in Southeast Asia. And he regularly leads cross-functional teams that include technical architects, partner, and marketing specialists to help customers develop their business cases and advise how to design, transition, and integrate their systems to the cloud. Go ahead, Ivan.
Well, good morning, everyone. Ivan Yo here, and it's a pleasure to be here with the VST ECS team this morning and with all of you resellers. This is the final presentation section that we have from Rackspace Technology. And what I want to do to wrap up this coming section is to just talk to you about how can we help you win your next deal with VST ECS and Rackspace. So Bernard has shared why Rackspace, and Matthew earlier had just shared what can we do to offer you at Rackspace. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is just to wrap up and provide you some guides and some help. How can you win with Rackspace and with VST ECS? So for you as resellers and partners, you're thinking, how can I grow my business on the cloud itself? From our experience selling VMware, and with Dell Technologies, we've found very common customer use cases. So what I've done is I've consolidated some of the very common scenarios that you and I will face when we talk to customers in the market. So what are the common challenges and how can we help you? The target audience that we have for this VMware offering and the cloud offering, cloud storage as a service offering, is really to the medium business and to the enterprise and the larger base customers. That is the target segment that the VST ECS team, and the Rackspace team, and the Dell Technologies team in the Philippines, that's what we're trying to focus on in this partnership here. So what are the common scenarios that we've seen in the market, and how can we help you when you find a potential customer that may want to buy a cloud service from us? Well, the first thing is the cloud costs. Cost and margin pressures are probably one of the most common situations where you would see in the market. I mean, with COVID situation right now, we know that many companies are cost constrained. They are even stricter. The CFOs who are making decisions and signing the checks, they are scrutinizing every single dollar of spend in the market. So if we find customers who are struggling with costs and trying to figure out, is it better? Is it okay to move to cloud with VST ECS and Rackspace? The answer is yes. And we're here, our team is here to support you to develop those sort of business cases. What about customers that have existing VMware investments? Well, they may be trying to say, how can I get the best bang out of it anyways? How do I make sure that whatever I've got is fully optimized? And the Rackspace team, given that we're one of the largest VMware service providers in the world, we have quite a bit of experience to be able to share what works better on a VMware stack. What about applications? That's what we run, applications on a VMware platform. If they're trying to figure out what's a good way to maybe containerize, how do they move some of the legacy applications to make it more efficient? We're here to help you. We're here to help you to help optimize and figure out what will be the best and most cost-effective way to be able to do it. Another very common scenario, end of life, tech refresh, okay? Shall I consider still buying hardware, which works extremely well, or do I move that to the cloud? What are the pros and cons? How do you move to the cloud? How do I make sure whatever I have on an existing infrastructure can connect to the cloud? These are common scenarios that the Rackspace team faces every single day. And we're, based on our experience running multiple clouds and connecting to the different clouds, we can really provide a lot of our assistance and help to you as a partner to talk to the customers. Data, Matthew has spoken about that, security threats. We have inbuilt operations for our platforms to make it very, very secure, and we can help you in that space too. Finally, things like mergers and acquisitions, customers who are trying to come together to consolidate their data center, their server environment, trying to figure out what's the best way to do it on maybe private cloud, we can help in that space. And very importantly, about saving on costs on data transfers, there is a lot of costs on the public cloud space, and with Rackspace on private cloud, we help to minimize some of the egress costs. And that will be something that's super critical to help customers save money, okay? On the right-hand side, we provide assessments, we provide strategy, guidance, we provide data center design, and these are things that you as a partner, as you're thinking, should I partner with VST ECS and Rackspace in this? The answer is absolutely yes. And finally, the dollars and cents. Common question that my team gets asked is, Ivan, is it going to be more cost effective? What's the total cost of ownership running, say, VMware on private cloud? So what we've done is that we've taken a deep look at the costs of operating a VMware. And I just want to show this slide to you and talk you through that it is more cost effective to work with a Rackspace on running your VMware solution on private cloud. So let me explain. When you offer a VMware stack to customers, customers have a choice of buying the equipment themselves and operating it. Or they have an option of maybe going to partners like VST and Rackspace and offering it as a total one-stop shop end-to-end offer. Now, when you do it independently and you buy the hardware itself, absolutely it can work. On paper, it may seem that sometimes it is less expensive when you just buy the piece of hardware, right? Now, when you operate it as an end-to-end solution for customers, you have to factor in every single component of management as a total cost of ownership. You have to procure the equipment as CapEx. You have to look at the people to operate the systems. You need network engineers, you need people who are experts on the equipment itself. You have to buy warranties, you have to buy space. If you don't have space in your data center, you need to have space. Not every company has enough space, right? You need to make sure that you have licenses included. And what Matthew explained earlier was that all the VMware license is included from Rackspace, one-stop shop. You've got to have networking equipment. You've got to have the right connectivity to connect to, say, other multi-cloud systems that the customers may be running, or even existing on-premise system. VMware end-to-end stack licenses and support, you need to have that. And all the appropriate support tooling, security tooling, operating systems, etc. So what we've done at Rackspace is we've taken a look at many, many different scenarios. And what we want to show you is that in this scenario of running an enterprise class workload where a system can support up to 200 virtual machines. This is an 8-host environment. We've done a cost of ownership exercise just to show you that, look, from Rackspace perspective, we provide the end-to-end offering through our distribution channel, VST ECS, that you can take advantage of, and it will work out to be more cost competitive for you. From a speeds and feeds perspective, we provide a lot more cores than some of the hyperscalers in the market for the same price. We offer more storage and we offer more capability. One of the important things that I want to point out is that in our t-shirt sizing, Matthew said earlier that we provide four actually physical nodes, 4 physical devices to connect as a VMware solution. The 4 nodes is very important because in VMware, it provides additional redundancy. Some of the cloud offerings that you see on the public side would only offer 3 nodes as a start. And for 3 nodes, you do not get the redundancy. But for Rackspace, we offer that additional set of redundancy. So in summary, what we want to just share with you is this, that we are super excited to bring this offer in market. It is a proven solution. It is an experienced solution. And we can be a safe pair of hands for you as you continue to look for ways to grow your business. And finally, what can we do? Well, sign up. I'm so glad that you're here today to listen in and to find out a little bit more about this offering from VST ECS and with Rackspace with Dell. Let's look at some potential opportunities to work together. So for myself and the team at Rackspace, I'll be coordinating together with the VST ECS team. But if you have any questions, please go reach out to your product manager, Sean Gudani. He looks after our relationship at VST ECS. If you have any questions, if you have any customers who are interested to consider it, come and have a chat with us. Let's get a competitive quote. Let's work together to offer the solution out to customers in the Philippines. So on behalf of Rackspace, I want to thank Jimmy for the trust in us and for the opportunity to be able to work together. We look forward to work closely with many partners and the channel in your ecosystem. So thank you very much. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have in your Q&A session. I just want to hand the time back to the VST ECS team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Okay, so what is the, Ivan, if you could please address this. What is the difference between private cloud vis-a-vis public cloud?
For private cloud, it is an offering that we provide as a hosted solution through Rackspace. So we have a commercial one-to-one relationship with the end customer directly, right? On the public cloud perspective, customers can log in directly and at any given time and use their credit cards even to pay and subscribe to a service. And that is something, it's accessible 7/24. But from a private cloud perspective, you have to contact us. We work with you directly. We build the solution for you, and then we contract directly with the customer. I hope that answers your question.
Is there a minimum contract for these offerings?
Yeah, for a minimum contract, we contract typically for 12 months period. So for a Rackspace private cloud on VMware, it is done over 12 months. And if a customer wants to renew from then on, they like the service, they can continue to renew from thereafter.
Just to note on that, on a case-by-case basis, we have done private cloud deals with a shorter timeline. Rackspace can do month-to-month terms. Typically, the risk to us does go up, so some of those costs will increase. But we know that some organizations are running newer projects, and we are happy to co-own some of that risk where it makes sense. So typically a 12-month term, but we are open in some cases to shorter terms if customers are running something new and experimental that may have risk on their side.
All right. Thank you, Sir Ivan and Sir Bernard. Once again, partners, feel free to send us your questions. Please take advantage of the presence of our experts from Rackspace. We now move on to the closing remarks of Svet Paner. Please go ahead, Svet.
Thank you, partners, for joining. Thank you, partners, for joining us today. To all our speakers, Ivan, Matthew, and Bernard, thank you for the great presentation. To Dell Tech for helping us with the partnership. To our President and CEO, Mr. Jimmy Go, for the leadership and support, so as with Ms. Princess Chua, our COO and EVP. So to our internal pre-sales team, Mabel, Ed, and Tom, for all the assistance, and to our Marcom team, headed by Mao, our host for today, not only for helping us put everything together, but also for making this event a success. We at VST ECS are keen to provide solutions that are relevant to our partners. With Rackspace offering a robust cloud portfolio, together we can help you and your customers get into the cloud and assist you in your cloud transformation journey. We are committed to work hand in hand with you to grow the business together. We have a dedicated team to support you, Sean and Jan. And as mentioned by Sean, we have come up with an incentive program. If you uncover opportunities, our team will be there to guide you all the way until we arrive at possible outcome. So please talk to our product manager, Sean Godani, if you need more information about Rackspace. And we will reach out also to you for the activities we have arranged to enable you and ramp up your skills and how to position Rackspace. So thank you again and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Svet. We have a question from Sir Jet Lim. Can Rackspace accommodate workloads that require low latency and intensive processing?
Yeah. So we absolutely are able to provide both options in those spaces. When we start looking at compute intensive solution or HPC solution, we do tend to start moving away from virtualized environments, but that doesn't mean that VMware can't offer extremely low overhead or low raw access to the various different items of the compute. So it really would depend on if you're looking at compute-based, high-intensity GPU-based computing, and then obviously from the low latency perspective, it's whether we're talking about microsecond and what's the precise number that you're looking at. Most of our network partners are able to achieve that very low latency. And then if we're talking about low latency into the hybrid cloud environment, all of our Rackspace data centers are under 10 milliseconds from the nearest public cloud region. So we're able to provide low latency connectivity to the public cloud as well.
Thank you, Matthew. We have another question, but it's in the chat panel. The most common, this was submitted to us by Alex Philamore. The most common question on any cloud application is how secure would it be for the point of view of Rackspace?
Absolutely. So if we look at the question of how secure, it's something that's been asked for cloud for a very long time. So when we look at Rackspace's platform security, So when we look at what we had in the blue and the purple and the red box on our slides of what was the Rackspace responsibility and what is the public cloud, the customer or the VTS ECS reseller's responsibility. The platform security from Rackspace is certified up to PCI DSS levels. We work very closely with VMware and Dell on any actual patching that is required. The VX Rail allows us to patch in a very secure manner as well. In terms of overall security, when we look at the people that are running that platform for Rackspace, our engineers are highly certified and go through all their security training. In terms of our processes, those are vetted by our SOC 2 compliance, our PCI DSS compliance. And then the technologies obviously are the Dell and VMware technologies that we have in place. But then on top of that, we do have additional security solutions. So more likely there's edge protections that need to be deployed and protections on both identity as well as solutions from the encryption or specific things on the virtual machine that may be required. So in terms of the shared responsibility model in cloud as a service, let's call it, or private cloud from Rackspace, it's a shared responsibility model, and we're able to provide. We're able to go further up the stack as required, and really de-risk any of the potential issues that may be seen as an issue in the market. We can get rid of those issues pretty quickly. And then there was another question in here around zero trust. We do have a number of zero trust partners in the market right now. Dell is one of them, as well as we have Duo and Cisco that we have in our portfolio as well.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. And thank you that you have noticed the question from JV regarding zero trust. All right. Let's do the group photo before we announce the winners and announce the lucky participants for the raffle. All right. Can we have a thumbs up, please? All right. Can you say Rackspace? Okay. Rackspace. Okay. So thank you so very much, and for accepting our invite to open your cameras. Once again, on behalf of VST ECS, this is Maurice Altar from the Marketing Communications Group of VST ECS. Maraming salamat, partners, for joining us today. I truly enjoyed hosting this event. Rackspace, VMware, and Dell Technologies, thank you so much for the trust. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.